Album closers. Truly, they're an art form in and of themselves, and it's arguably just as important to have a good closer as it is to have a compelling opener. It can be pretty tricky to decide which track in an album has the perfect vibe to end everything off on the right foot. So when an album has that one track that leaves you feeling like it perfectly finishes a record off for one reason or another, it's genuinely an ethereal experience. Today I'm going to be talking about that phenomenon with some album closers I think are great. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with the staple in shoegaze, I've got Slow Dive. Truth be told, I couldn't decide between just Primal on their debut Just for a Day or Souvlaki's Dagger. So I'm being lazy and I'm going to be talking about both. Both are great ways to end their respective records. Primal being one of my favorite tracks off of Just for a Day, with the daunting and hopeless vibe I get with it thanks to the atmosphere created and great bass playing. Slowdive has a lot of banger bass lines, honestly. Not to mention how Primal ends by progressively getting more intense before cutting off, it's great. Listening to the song makes me feel like I'm spiraling into a strange depression, it's perfect.
Oh yay!
And Dagger? My god. It may not have any emphasis on bass, but make no mistake, it's a great track. Perfectly fitting for the album's themes of heartbreak, and an amazing little shift to a heartfelt down-tempo acoustic track to finish off the absolute gem that Souvlaki is. You really can't miss with Souvlaki, and Dagger is the final cherry on top. I probably wouldn't have picked any other track on either of these records to end them respectively. You know, unlike Young and Dumb, which is like the $20 hooker of the album in the sense that it leaves me unsatisfied. Primal? Dagger, though? $22,000 hookers right there. Very satisfactory. Up next, Rust in Peace Polaris, gracefully finishing us off on a metal classic. Rust in Peace, the album, has no misses, and this track is absolutely not an exception. The energy in Polaris is top-notch, especially with the instrumental breakdown at the end of the song. It fits the bill perfectly for an end to an album of this caliber. This is one of those Megadeth songs I could see myself wrapping my car around a tree to, or better yet, ripping the transmission out of to. The intricacy of the instrumentation is one of the many obvious highlights, which is the norm with Rust in Peace. It's an exhilarating listen without a doubt, and a fitting addition to send Rust in Peace off. I don't have much else to say about it. It's another track in a wildly consistent and fantastic metal record. And you know, I'd say we definitely got another $22,000 hooker sitting in the car with this one. It isn't a big nanner video without some Deftones glazing, so let's just rip this band-aid off. White Pony's Pink Maggot is amazing. I could gush about it for hours, truly. White Pony is really varied when it comes to its sounds and styles throughout the record, but even amongst 10 other wildly standout tracks, Pink Maggot manages to be a highlight. It's a bit of a slow burner at first, but that's not to a detriment at all. I love the ambient buildup of the track before bursting into the heaviness of the latter half of it. It's a dark, compelling, and in some ways ethereal song with its shoegaze elements, and listening to it feels like you're floating through every little grim, complex thought you have going on in your head. Kinda like Knife Party, and I absolutely love it for that. I think the unique tonal shift and texture of Pink Maggot makes it the most fitting closer for White Pony. When it ends, I always feel like I'm coming down from some otherworldly high, like I'm on fentanyl made by aliens or something. It leaves me simultaneously wanting more, yet still satisfied with the ending. Fantastic song, fantastic album, wins all around. Ah yes, Dirt by Alice in Chains, a timeless record which is aided by its iconic hit, Would. Now tell me, if I could, would you? Would you put this as the song to end off Dirt? Personally, I would. That was a good one, right guys? Would is a classic. It's short, but quite sweet. The energy created in it makes it another one I could wrap my car around a tree to, on black tar heroin, much like Polaris. Would is also heavy in more ways than one. Not only is it heavy with the instrumentation, but it's also heavy with Lane Staley's gut-wrenching vocal performance. It really is a highlight of the whole track. Arguably my favorite aspect of it, to be honest. The chorus hits so hard, and man, the ending of this song is so raw. It's absolutely dirty in the best way. Haha. Okay, I'll stop now. This shit go hard as fuck. Feel free to pirate this on Napster. What a way to end off an album as monumental as dirt. Keeping up the trend of monumental albums, we've got Frou Frou Foxes and Midsummer Fires from the Cocteau Twins' Heaven or Las Vegas. I think this track is another example of being a standout on a record, and another fitting send-off. The vibes in this song are otherworldly, heavenly, if you will. It's written and structured super well for a closer, with the slower startup before the drums kick in, and it just cranks it up to 10 with the atmosphere. And it's just like, ugh. Frou Frou Foxes and a... Frou Frou Foxes is an oh dear. Frou Frou Foxes is an immersive track. Bruh. Frou Frou Foxes is an immersive track that's also very soothing and pleasant to listen to. The vocals are amazing, and the instrumentation complements them perfectly. It's another one of those ones that when it ends, I feel like I just went to another planet or something. Really ethereal, good shit across the board throughout this track, and I love it. Fantastic closer. Duran Duran outdid themselves with their sophomore album, Rio, and its closer, The Chauffeur, is a symbol of that. Anyone sensing a pattern here? You could compare it to Frou Frou Foxes in the sense that it's got this unique vibe, being a slower startup before gradually leading into something a bit more energetic and captivating quite seamlessly, making it a standout track in a collection of solid songs. And if it wasn't already apparent, I think that works very well for a closer. I also find The Chauffeur to be cool because it has a bit of a mysterious vibe to it, which helps give it that much more personality, further helping it stand out. The vocals in The Chauffeur are the highlight of the track, being super catchy and memorable, with the instrumentation accenting the vocal work pretty effectively, making it a fun listen. And, you know, I'm a fan of Zelda, so I'm a bit of a sucker for that use of the ocarina in this track. Good stuff all around. Next up, we have one of the best bands in the game with Gojira's Global Warming on From Mars to Sirius. This track is nothing short of absolute cinema. Absurdly moving stuff here. The band feels so in tune with each other on this track, and it creates this emotional epic with some of Gojira's most cohesive and unique songwriting, I'd say. And that's saying something when you have a band like Gojira, who has an entire lineup of distinct musicians. And don't even get me started on Mario Duplantier. Fucking fantastic drummer, and his work in Global Warming is one of his countless standout examples. But like I said, it really feels like everyone is pulling so much weight to bring it all together. I still remember the very first time I heard this song. I was swept off my feet and absolutely obsessed with it. Sometimes I think maybe the outro is a smidge long, but that's just a little nitpick. It's not anything super detrimental to the song itself, and it still does its job of closing not only this monumental song, but also the record insanely well. Truthfully, I think it perfectly closes out From Mars to Sirius, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Another certified banger from the legends over at Gojira. Next up, we've got Fear of the Dark from Iron Maiden's album of the same name. Fear of the Dark, as an album, may not be Iron Maiden's best work, but damn if this isn't a hell of a song. The intro is iconic. I absolutely love the clean guitar riff at the beginning of the song. It's honestly one of, if not my favorite part of the track. But Fear of the Dark is great throughout. It keeps me pumped up during the whole song, and it flows beautifully between heavy and melodic parts. And my god, I adore how it ends by coming back to the soft guitar lick seen in the beginning of the track, paired with Bruce Dickinson's line at the end. It's mwah, chef's kiss. I know this album is kind of ripped on, and like I said, it may not be Maiden's best project, but it honestly does have a few really great songs. But it's better to end on a bang, and Fear of the Dark does just that. Maiden locked in for this track, ending on an incredibly high note, arguably the highest in the entire album, cementing itself as an Iron Maiden essential to close this album off. Great shit here. Is anyone here familiar with Mint Condition? You know, they're the fellas who made that Pretty Brown Eyes song. That song's good, but it's not the closer, so I'm not talking about it. What I am talking about is I Wonder If She Likes Me, from their debut, Meant to Be Mint. I may be a little biased to the song because it's low-key damn near a whole-ass rock song. It's got the punchy guitar riffs and a solid solo, which I naturally love. But you know what else I'm a sucker for? Bass lines. And by golly, does this song have some funky bass going for it. Those are two aspects of this track I think it excels at, but I also just love this song in general for how it's written. They went in a bit of a different direction for this one than the rest of the album, blending a hip-hop and rock vibe, and it paid off quite well. It's a fun listen, it flows like butter, it's got an electric swagger to it, and it's one of my favorites on the entire album personally. I really like it a lot. To close off this video, Shut your fucking mouth! We're gonna cool it down a bit. We've got Videotape from Radiohead's In Rainbows. In Rainbows is an iconic entry in Radiohead's catalog. It's hard to explain, but when I listen to In Rainbows, it gives me the strangest, most ethereal feeling out of any other Radiohead album, and Videotape just serves to add to that. To be honest, upon my first few listens of this song, I wasn't a huge fan of the drum track in it. I thought it was kind of weird and out of place, and the song as a whole actually took me a couple re-listens before I really grasped it. I've grown used to the drums now, but despite this, I can't help but primarily focus on the piano in this song, mixed with the soft vocals. In Rainbows is one of Radiohead's more subdued and atmospheric records, and the soothing piano in Videotape fits like a glove. It's mesmerizing and beautiful, and it creates this serene atmosphere that I've come to appreciate a lot. It's a calming closer to a frankly otherworldly album, and for that reason, I can't help but really dig it. One of Radiohead's best album closers, I'd say. That's about all I've got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. What are some of your personal favorite album closers? Be sure to let me know, but until next time, take care.